Hello. Hi guys, I'm just gonna let some people join here. In the meantime, I will tell you a little bit about myself and the amazing contest where you can win Beat It. You can win a case of it. For all my athletes out there who I work with, they know how much I love beats. So excited to have them as a sponsor of this and a chance for you guys to win. So I'm Sylvie Tetrault. I'm a strength and conditioning coach and a sports nutritionist. I work alongside a ex-NHL alumni named Gary Roberts. So I've been working with him for 8 years as a strength and conditioning coach, but also more as a strength trainer, as a sports nutritionist now. So I'm really excited to go through this workout with you and have, again, you guys get the opportunity to win a case of Beat It. And make sure that you join along with the contest. You can actually win a full case of Beat It if you follow them and follow Impact Magazine and tag a friend in the Sweat Across Canada event in the post. So very excited to get started. I'll just wait for a couple more people to join here as it's just 12 o'clock. So tell you a little bit more about myself. I grew up in the East Coast of Canada. I moved to Toronto about 12 years ago, and I've been in the fitness industry ever since. So I've worked in several different roles, most recently being with, like I said, Gary Roberts High Performance Training, and I'm a strength trainer and sports nutritionist there. So very excited to take you through this workout. All right. So I'm just gonna wait maybe another minute for a couple more people to join, and then we'll get started. First of all, I just wanted to talk about the benefits and the type of workout that we'll be doing today. So there's a lot of information out there, a lot of workouts online, especially with those of us locked down right now. Obviously, you guys are following along with some workouts, and some of them are going really quickly through exercises, which is great, and it has its purpose, but I'm out of breath already. I'm just so excited I'm talking. But the issue with a lot of that is that if you don't own the movement in a slow manner, you can actually do things improperly, and you get a lot of strength and a lot of benefits out of tempo training. So not only do you increase your time under tension, so if you're increasing the time with the tempo, then you're actually having a chance to get more adaptations, more stress on the system. So it's really great to introduce into your training. I use it all the time with myself and my clients. So I highly recommend that you do that. Okay, we're gonna get started here. So again, benefits of tempo training, it creates variety as well. So with you guys working out at home, it's so important that you focus on, doing different things and making sure you're not doing the same things over and over again. And tempo is a way to take basic exercises, slow it down, and make sure that you're make sure that you're really getting the most out of your training. So we're gonna focus on just making sure that you're, slowing down, counting reps. And again, there's so many benefits to this that, I use again in my training. Hi from Vancouver. Hey, Chris. D. Awesome. Okay, so let's get started with just a general warm up. So for equipment, you don't need anything. And then I'm gonna show you some modifications for making it a little bit harder and also a little bit easier if you find it challenging. Hey, Ash. Okay, awesome. So we're gonna get started with the workout. Again, tempo is really important, so we're gonna be counting a lot. Sometimes I mess up on counting reps and go a little quickly, so just bear with me. So we're gonna start with just a general warm up. We're gonna warm up the hips. We're gonna do some mobility first. So if you have a mat, you're going to start, I have this little pad, but if you have a pillow or something to protect your knee, you can also start with that. So we're gonna start with just a hip flexor stretch. And for those of you just joining, don't forget to follow along with Beat It. And our sponsors, thank you so much, and you can win a case of Beat It, so follow along with that as well. So we're gonna start with one leg up. We're just gonna tuck our back glute under, so squeezing our back glute, making sure that we have a neutral core position so we're not hanging out in the lower back like this. So we're gonna tuck forward, and what we're gonna do is we're just gonna rock forward and back, creating tension in that back hip flexor, and we're just gonna do this about 8 times. And so again, squeezing the back glute. And keeping the tension in the core too. So we're gonna switch sides. So again, we're just warming up, starting with some mobility, making sure that we're getting the body ready and prepped for the active workout that we're gonna do, because it's gonna be very slow and controlled. So we wanna make sure things are mobile but also firing. So we're gonna do the same thing, core active, tuck the back glute under, so squeezing the back glute. We're just gonna go forward and back. So this is dynamically going through a stretch, so moving through a stretch, as opposed to statically holding it. It's really good for pre-workout during a warm-up, because that way you're just priming the movement and the exercise that you're gonna do. So again, just active through the core, back glute squeezed. Next, what we're gonna do, we're gonna put one leg out to the side, so we're gonna do an active active adductor stretch. So hands go out in front of you. We're gonna have that same core position, so making sure that you're pulling in, hands just out in front of you, and what we're gonna do is rock forward and back. My toe is facing forward, and we're just rocking forward and back. We're gonna do this again about 8 times. See a bunch of people joining, hello. Okay, again, out to the other side. And we're just gonna rock forward and back, keeping core active so that we're not dumping into the lower back. And so we're gonna be doing a lot of lower body workout work today, so just making sure that we're warming up. Okay, next we're gonna focus on is the T-spine. For me, this is the most tight area in my body, 100%. My chiropractor is actually on this, so she knows all about that. So we wanna make sure that we're opening up through the mid-back. Very important, especially with doing a lot of exercises at home, especially with a lot of pressing. You can get pretty tight through the back. So making sure that we're opening up. So we're gonna sit back into the hips, elbows on the ground, and we're just gonna reach up and look at the elbow. So again, tucking in through the core. So it's a little bit like a sprinkler. And then coming up and down. So we're gonna do this 8 times. My chiropractor said, yup. So just making sure that, again, we're getting open through that mid-back, and then other side, we're gonna go through 8 times. Sitting back on the heels just protects your lower back and avoids you cranking through the lower back instead of the mid-back, which we're trying to target. All right. So we're gonna do what's called world's best stretch. And so what we're gonna do for this, we're gonna stand at the edge of a mat, or again, just on the floor. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk our hands out to a plank position. So I'm gonna start a little bit back here so you can see. So we're gonna put the hands on the ground, walk the hands out, go into a full plank position. We're gonna bring the left leg up to meet the right arm, and then we're just gonna open up through that T-spine. Hand comes back. We're gonna do the other side. Here, open up. Good, we're gonna go back into a plank and walk the feet back, or walk the hands back, sorry. Come up all the way, we're gonna go all the way up onto the tippy toes, reach the fingers towards the sky, come back down, and we're going down again. Into a plank position. From here, coming up, reach up, stretch through that T-spine. Back leg should be active. And coming back down. And other side. And walking the feet back. Coming all the way up, My hair is in my mouth. All the way up. Good, and we're just gonna do this once more. So walking out, make sure we have a big stretch in the hamstrings, taking your time to walk the hands out, going into that plank position, coming up, reach up through the mid-back. Back leg active, stretching that hip as well. Here, and up. And then we're gonna walk the feet back. Come all the way up, and then we're done, that part. All right, so we have about 15 people, perfect. Okay, so we're gonna get started in the tempo workout now. So what I want you to do for this is you don't need any equipment, but if you do wanna make it a little bit harder, you can, and you can slow it down even more. So we're gonna start with just 6 movements. Typically I would either set a timer for this, or you can do 5 sets. We're gonna see how much time. I'm just gonna start a timer here, just so I don't go off. And so we're gonna start with full body workout. Again, just making sure that we're slowing the movement down. I'm gonna count through it to make sure we're focusing on that. So again, benefits of tempo training, making sure that you're slowing down, you're owning the movement, avoiding injury, that type of thing as well. Because a lot of the time when we speed up movements, we can actually bounce outside of lifts, and that can cause a lot of tension on our joints. We're not really owning it, okay? So we're gonna focus on slowing it down. I'm gonna take a breath. Okay. Talking too fast and working out at the same time. I don't know how group instructors do this. Okay, so let's start with a squat. We're just gonna start with a basic squat. So a couple things that we're gonna try to work on. And we're gonna do 5 reps of all of these exercises at different tempos. So tempos, you're gonna have an eccentric, a pause, a concentric, and a pause. So that just is technical terms for the different sequences of the exercise and why we need to slow it down at certain times. Hey guys. Okay, so starting with the squat, we're gonna do 5 reps of these. And so what we're gonna do is start with an eccentric 3-second, a 3-second pause at the bottom of the squat, and then we're gonna come up for 1 second and pause for 1 second at the top. So, some things to watch out for. We'll go through the exercise first, and then I'll talk about some form and technique that you guys can tweak. So starting with the squat, we wanna make sure that, again, we're active in this position starting. We don't wanna be hanging out here. We wanna make sure we're starting with the glutes active and core active as well. So what we're gonna do is push the hips back. I'm actually gonna push my arms out for counterbalance. It helps me to sit back into the hips and get the most out of the squat when I'm doing it in body weight. You can also have your hands on your hips. I prefer to go out like this. So pushing the hands out, and we can also get active through the lats in doing this too. So pushing the hands out, squeezing the glutes. We're gonna start with hinging the hips back, slowly going down for 3 seconds, hold for 3 at the bottom. So again, focusing on keeping that tension the entire time, coming up for 1. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1. 1, 2, 3, hold for 3 at the bottom, 1, 1. Okay, so slowing it down, we're gonna do 5 reps. And so focusing on making sure that our glutes are active. We don't wanna come to the top and hang out in the lower back. We really wanna make sure our glutes are active, but we're in this strong position, not arching. Also, we don't wanna stay here, as cool as that looks. We don't wanna stay here. We wanna make sure that we're really active and in that strong standing position. So after you've done your 5 reps, we're gonna go to a prone Y. So this is really important for posture. A lot of the time, pulling or any postural work can get missed with home workouts because it's a lot of pressing. So what we wanna focus on is really turning those muscles on in your back. So we're gonna go onto the floor and we're gonna focus on, can you see me? Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna go into a wide position like this. My forehead's just gonna be leaning on the mat. So I'll just turn to the side so you can see. So what I'm gonna do is thumbs up towards the ceiling. I'm actually going to 1, 3, 1, 1. So 1 second up, 3 second pause, 1, 1. 1 second up, 3 second pause. So what I'm thinking about is pulling my shoulder blades back and down. Try not to get into my upper traps. 1, 2, 3. And again, 5 reps for these. So making sure we're pulling back and down. The other sets will be a little quicker, so I'm not explaining as much. Okay, so we're gonna come up after you've done your 5 prone reps. I'm gonna go to a split squat. So we're gonna do the same tempo that we did with the squats. So we're gonna start in a split stance position. So again, I'm not hanging out like this. I'm pulling my back glute tight, as well as pulling my top ribs to meet my pelvis. So I have this neutral core position and it's active. So what I'm gonna do from here is I'm gonna go down, 1, 2, 3, hold for 3 seconds at the bottom, 1, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. I messed that up. It was supposed to be 3 seconds at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1. 1, 2, 3. And 2 more. So we're keeping this back leg active by squeezing the glute. Good, and switching sides. So again, pulling that neutral position, squeezing the back glutes. We're going to be stretching this back leg. Core is active, and we're going 1, 2, 3. Hold for 3 seconds at the bottom. 1, 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1. 1, 2, 3. Hold at the bottom. 1, 1. All right, so we're going on to the push-up. Now, we're gonna go really slow on the way down, but we're actually doing zeros for the other tempo. So this is called an eccentric push-up. So making sure that we're slowing the negative movement down as much as possible. So this one's, again, really important for controlling the movement. Push-ups are really hard. They're still hard for me. So there's something that you do have to train often. And then there's also a lot of form issues with push-ups. Making sure that, again, you're slowing it down. So we're gonna start with a plank position. So you're gonna start with going into a plank. With a plank, you really wanna make sure that you're pulling your core active and squeezing your butt under. So we're gonna go 5 seconds all the way down, and then we're just gonna bring our body to the absolute floor, and then we're just gonna push up from our knees. So here, we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, controlling it all the way, and then we're pushing up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in terms of position, you want the elbows to be at nipple height. So you want to make sure that it's just out, not up here and into your traps. And if you go too far, you can get up into your traps as well. So we really want to make sure that you have that 45-degree angle and your thumbs are out a little bit. So again, starting in the top position, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Coming up. So once you've done your 5 reps of those, so again, just slowing down that movement as much as possible. So we're going to do single leg RDL next. So this movement, we're actually going to do eccentric 3, hold for 1 second, and then we're actually going to do concentric 3 as well. So what this means, and what this looks like, we're going to push the back leg to the back wall. I'm actually going to press my hands out for that counterweight. I'm active through this back glute as well, pulling my toes towards my shin, and coming up for 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to do 5 each side. So again, active through the back leg, pulling the toes towards the shin. If the single leg is too challenging, you can also do just a hinge at the hips and go 3 seconds back, 3 seconds on the way up. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so doing that single leg, 5 reps each side, pushing the hands out, See, I lost my balance as well. Wasn't paying attention. 1, 2, 3. So again, really slow, active through not only the front leg, but the back leg. Okay, and then we're gonna do plank taps. So we're actually gonna go in a bear crawl position. So once you've done 5 each side of the single legs, we'll be able to go through it a lot smoother on the second round. Awesome, okay. Thumbs up if you guys are getting this. Okay, last one in this round, and then we're gonna go to the second round and do it a little bit faster the way through, but still slowing down the tempo. So making sure that we're going in a bear crawl position, we're actually gonna tuck under so that we're flat through the back. So one thing that you see a lot with this position is arching. And so what this does is it deactivates the core. We're just kind of hanging out here. It puts a lot of pressure on the lower back. So making sure, again, we're tucking under. Knees are just gonna hover off the ground. And this time what we're doing is we're gonna hold at the top. So it's a 1-3-1-1 tempo. And again, this is on the board. If you can see that, it might be a little light. So again, this is a holding area. So we wanna go up into that neutral position. You can actually have a water glass on your back, and you don't wanna spill it. So that back position is so flat. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3. We're gonna do 5 each side. Again, really strong through the lower back. Core is activated. All right, that's round 1. So we're gonna go to round 2. And this time, just remember those cues that I said with the technique. Very important, especially when we're slowing things down. If anything feels weird, just make sure you take a little breather. I'm gonna take a sip of water. And just do what feels right. You don't wanna push it in certain areas, but this is an opportunity to go slow and actually really own those movements that you might find difficult otherwise when you're trying to do them quickly. Alrighty, so let's start with our squat again. So again, very simple. Sometimes I set a timer with this workout and just kind of go through the movements. Sometimes I just do 5 reps of them. So we're gonna start with our squat. We're gonna go 5 reps, 3 seconds on the way down, 3-second pause, 1 second up, 1 second at the top. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 1. And again, not hanging out here, coming in that strong position at the top with core activated, bum squeezed under. Doesn't look cool like this, but it's very effective. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, hold. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, hold and own that bottom position. 1, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1. Hold, own that bottom position. 1, 1. This might be 6, I'm not sure. 1, 1. Shouldn't trainers know how to talk or know how to count and talk? Yes, they should. Okay, next what we're gonna do is that prone Y. So we're really owning, pulling the shoulder blades back and down, not hanging out in the upper traps. So we're gonna go into the Y position, coming up, 1, 2, 3. We're gonna stay active through the glutes as well. 1, 2, 3. All right, good. Again, very important for posture and doing pulling. If you have some bands at home, definitely incorporate lots of pulling because we can be sitting a lot more when we're doing all of our work from home. Split squats. So, again, coming in that split squat position, we're not hanging out in the lower back, we're pulling the core tight. We're gonna go 3 seconds on the way down, 3-second hold, 1 second up, 1 second up. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1. 1, 2, 3. 3, 1, 1. Yeah, good. Okay, other side. So again, really owning that bottom position. We want to stay tight and make sure that, again, we're not just hanging out in the knee or any of the joints. So core tight, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. My back glute is squeezed. 1, 1. 2, 3. 1, 1. All right. Feeling sweaty yet? Okay, so next we're going to do our eccentric push-ups. Again, positioning is very important. We want to make sure that we're in that plank position. We're owning it. We're not, again, hanging out in the traps or rounding the back and hanging out in the lower back at all as well. So we're going to start with a really good plank position. So we're going to put our feet out. Again, if you need to go a little bit wider, if that feels better, absolutely do that. Narrowing the base will make it harder. So we want to start with tucking that core, make sure the glutes are squeezed, and we're just going to lower for 5 seconds. Bring our knees to the ground, push up, 5 seconds, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to be held accountable for timing as well, because sometimes I can rush it, so that's why we're focusing on this. If this is too hard, you can do the whole thing from the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, next we're either going to do our RDL or our single leg RDL. So again, really active through both legs in this one. And we're thinking about reaching to opposite walls, okay? So we're going to start with pressing, squeezing the back glute, pressing the arms out, and we're going to go for a 3, 3, 1, 3, 1. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. So again, squeezing the back glute, making sure our toes are flexed towards the shin. And again, if this is too hard, we can do this and just owning that hinge position and coming up and squeezing. All right, switch legs if you haven't already. So 1, 2, 3 on the eccentric. 1, 1, 2, 3 on the concentric. So coming back up. Hold for 1 second at the top. And again, if this is too easy, you can go even 5 seconds and slow it down even more. So reaching to those opposite walls. Okay, next we're going to do our bear crawl taps. So again, the positioning is really important, the position that you're starting in. So again, we're going to make sure that we're pulling our shoulder blades, so we're not hanging out like this. Making sure that we're pushing so that our back is flat. We could rest a water glass that is full of water on our lower back. Not that you want to try that, but in theory, that's what we like in our lower back. So we're going to hover the knees off the ground, pressing into the hands and the toes, and we're going to hold for 3 seconds. Solid through that lower back. Okay, awesome. We're at 12:30. So normally I would do 3 to 5 rounds of those. I don't know if we have time to do another round, but I know I'm going to answer some questions as well. Should we do another round? Do we have time? All right, let's do one more round and then we'll answer some questions. Okay, so starting with the squat, again, owning it, making sure that we're going really slow. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1. 1, 1. Keep going. Okay guys, I just want to remind you that you can win a case of Beat It sports shots. Again, any of the athletes that I work with know I love beats. So this is awesome. If you follow Impact Meg Canada and then also Beat It, you can win a chance to get a whole case of that. Or sorry, you can enter to win a case. Okay guys, so if you don't remember, you're going to, after the squat, we're going to the prone Ys if you're continuing to go through the workout. Thanks, Alexandra, I got the... Okay guys, so as a reminder, what the workout is tempo-based. So we're focusing on slowing down the eccentric, slowing down the concentric in certain ones, pausing, so owning the bottom of lifts or pausing at the top when needed. So again, this is huge benefits for making sure that you're building strength, making sure that you're avoiding rushing through exercises and really owning it. You do have to earn going quickly with exercises because if you just try to go quickly, you'll be missing a lot of the form and technique. So guys, after the prone, if you've done your 3 seconds at the top with the prone Ys, you're going into the split squats. So here, 3 seconds on the way down, 3 seconds pause, 1 second up, 1 second up. All right, and we're gonna do, again, really slow and controlled. Okay, I guess time for questions. If you guys are still working out, still doing it, please do. Any questions, guys? Why you do tempo training, why it's important, anything about what I do on a daily basis? How often should you do these workouts? So I love to do these to remind myself to slow down on recovery days. So it's really good to set a timer or do 5 sets of these really slowing down. So 1 to twice a week is great. Or you can incorporate it into your other strength training, which is what I often do. Yeah, so making sure that you're again, incorporating tempo training at least 1 to twice a week. And then how do you avoid using the wrong back muscles, i.e. shoulder ones? So this can be very difficult, especially because we can be tended to round and get up into our upper traps. I would focus a lot on retraction, so making sure that we're pulling our shoulder blades back and really focusing on isolating those small muscle groups. So a lot of band work, making sure that you're doing horizontal rowing, as well as even some plank scapular retraction, so some of these, and making sure that you're really focusing on your traps. The other thing is really focusing on recovery options, so getting massage and soft tissue work and that type of thing is very important. So it's just something you really have to pay attention to. Any tips for sitting poorly? Yes, absolutely. So same sort of thing, really focusing on a lot of those postural muscles. I can even do this all the time. Again, my chiropractor can attest to this. So we can get like this on our computers. So making sure that we're opening up through the chest. So a lot of stretching through the pecs, activating those back muscles, activating the glutes, the back of your body, especially if you're sitting a lot. is incredibly important because, again, we use a lot of the anterior muscles, so a lot of the chest, quads, that type of thing. But if we're sitting all the time, we can get like, these muscles get pretty lazy. So again, making sure that we're pulling our shoulder blades back, core tight as well, and then stretching through the shoulders and the pecs. Awesome. Any other questions, guys? I have some exciting things that are going on. So I work, again, with Gary Roberts High Performance Training, and we have an online app and a challenge in December. It's called Deck the Quads, where you have to do a bunch of lunges. And it's really exciting. It's for charity. So that is going on. Also, my chiropractor friend and I have a recovery program. It's called the Full 365, where, obviously it's very important to do these types of training and make sure that we're, getting the most out of our training, but often we forget about those other hours in between when we're training. So recovery, nutrition, sleep, lifestyle factors. So my girlfriend and I have that covered for you. So the Full 365. Any other questions, guys? This was fun. I'm sweaty. Talking and going slowly through movements are tough. All right. Thank you, guys. No other questions? Awesome. Thanks, guys.